Hello, 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 my amigos. Welcome one, welcome all. It is time for another exciting edition of the show with no name. So get ready for lift
10, 9,
off.
8, 7,
Let's
6,
go. Tons of
5,
stuff to do.
4, 3,
Two,
2,
one.
1,
Come on.
0.
Get on with it.
Ignition.
Eso es písalo.
Lift
No.
off. Lift off. 30
Get on with it. Come on, faster. We've got a lot to do, man. So much to do, so little time.
Get ready. Hold on to your hats. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your
And
hats.
get ready for the ride of your life.
The show with no. It's show with no.
Are you ready?
I
hope so. It's a show with no name. Give it to me. Let's go. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for another exciting edition of the interactive wacky, un poco chiflado, bueno, muy chiflado, the wacky show with no name. And the show with no name would be nothing without our show with no namers. So welcome, show with no namers from around the world, whatever continent you are tuning in from. It's a pleasure. It is an honor to welcome you to my English class every day, my 2-hour English extravaganza. Well, it's a little bit more than a class, right? We end up singing, telling jokes. It's more like a party, isn't it? A party where you never know what's around the bend. Lo que te espera a la vuelta de la esquina. Another way of saying una curva en una carretera is a bend. Bueno, porque se dobla, right? Se pliega. It's a bend. So we never know what's around the bend. But you know you're going to learn English. You know you're going to have fun. You know you're going to make friends. And guess what? This is just one of the many shows on this awesome radio station. This interactive, enriching radio station called Vaughn Radio, started by my friend, my mentor, Richard Vaughn. And you can listen to him every day here on Vaughn Radio. In fact, a lot of people ask him, Richard, I want classes. Same in my situation. And I said, well, you have 10 hours a week with me. If you tune into Vaughn Radio, that's 2 hours a day times 5. Well, my math is not that bad. I can do 5 times 2. So 10 hours of English, and that's only this program. So, amigos, I know you are stoked. Sé que estáis mentalizados, preparados. So let's kick things off with the Say What soundbite. Say what? What? Come on. Come on. Lots to do. And I know you guys are nice and warm. Fijaos, siempre usamos este nice and bastante. Y no decimos nice and, it's nice and, like rock and roll, salt and pepper. Hasta el grupo Salt and Pepper. Rock and roll. You know the group Salt and Pepper? Bum 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 bum. Now push it real good. Salt and Pepper. Oh man, used to love them. Well, a lot of times in English, that and is an N sound, like an N. even in numbers, 110. Dilo conmigo, 110. Rock and roll, salt and pepper. Am I saying and in any of those cases? Nope. Well, just as I said, one thing is what's written on the page, and another thing is what comes out of our mouths. And since English is spoken by so many people with so many different dialects, accents, people who grew up 6,000 miles, or I guess around 6,000 between New York and Australia. I don't know exactly, but you catch my drift. People all over this planet are using the language that I learned as a kid and the language that you are all learning now. And the second most, or maybe it's, I would say on the same, at the same level, Spanish and English. They're not just languages. I think they're tools. Son herramientas. And I've seen it. I'm saying it from experience, from traveling to many different continents. I've traveled quite a bit in my life. It's where I spend most of my money. Whatever little money I have, because I don't look at it as it's like, a Vaughan town. Is that spending money, or is that really like more of an investment that's going to give you back tenfold? No, multiplicado por 10. Cuando decimos la palabra fold después de un número es tenfold, twofold, right? It means multiplicado por eso. All right, so in today's Say What soundbite, we're going to hear a totally native thing, and it doesn't get more native than this. In fact, speaking of childhood and growing up, as I just mentioned, this is a part of my childhood, definitely, and it might be a part of your childhood too. The only thing is, two things. I don't know if it was popular in Spain, this show, and I don't know if it was popular. I don't know if the voice of the characters were the same, because obviously it's voiced by another person if you watch it in Spanish. So without any further ado, sin más, let's listen to today's Say What soundbite for the first time. Remember, what I want from you, three things. Listen carefully. Number one, give me a synopsis. Number two, give me a synopsis of what you heard. And number three, if you can get it all down, si puedes apuntarlo todo, well, you can let us know as well in the comments, or just jot it down just to test how you take dictation, how you understand different accents that you'll hear out there. All right, folks, here it is, your Say What soundbite for the first time.
Dear Moron, I'm having a swell time here at the insane asylum. It would be nice if you could come and visit me sometime. Wish you could read. Ren.
Me pregunta el del chiringuito si quiero hacer kitesurf o wakeboard, o si prefiero tomarme un bitter cass antes. Me acaba de decir 5 palabras en inglés. Kite, que significa cometa. Surf, que es obviamente hacer surf, pero también significa oleaje. Wake, que es estela, en este caso la estela del barco. Board es tabla y bitter es amargo. Y justo antes, cuando le pregunté si hablaba inglés, me dijo:
pero patatero.
Sabemos mucho más inglés de lo que creemos. Solo nos falta asimilarlo y situarlo. Aprende a aprender inglés en cualquier lugar con This Book is the Milk y su secuela, This Book is the Milk 2. Te enseñaremos cómo enfocar el inglés, aprovechando todo el inglés que tenemos alrededor y de una manera divertida y adictiva. The Remilk ahora se llama This Book is the Milk 2 y viene con audio y nueva portada. Descúbrelos ya en vaughantienda.com.
That's right, folks. You've got 5 different books at Vaughan Tienda that I authored. You can say I penned, I authored, I wrote. Either one of those. Escribí, right? Autoré. I don't know if you use it as a verb in Spanish. But either way, 5 different books that came from my brain. And, well, I participated in many other ones. And as you know, we have a wealth. Una abundancia. I know you know the word wealthy. Adinerado, right? Wealthy. Well, a wealth es una abundancia. piénsalos, abundante, right? So again, we're not looking at a word just on the surface. We always try to look a little bit deeper here and look at the idea behind a word instead of just, okay, there it is. It's cat, C-A-T. Is that it? Well, also there's an adjective that's catty. And if somebody is catty, they're malicious, spiteful, rencoroso. So see, how many of you knew the word cat? But did you know the word catty? Hey, down, boy. Oh, the dog got all excited here because I'm talking about kitty cats. Oh, man. Cats will be cats and dogs will be dogs. Hey, maybe I'm giving you a little clue about today's Say What soundbite. Maybe no, definitely. I'm definitely giving you a clue in today's Say What soundbite. All right, well, I was just talking about the wealth of materials that you can find at vontienda.com. Let's see which one we're going to look at in today's Pop Quiz. Pop Quiz. Pop Quiz. Pop Quiz. Pop Quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. All right. It is our pop quiz here on the show with no name. And today we are taking a look at something from Essential English. This is the English you need to know in order to order a sandwich, in order to catch a taxi, in order to find your lost suitcase at the Lost and Found. This English, as the title implies, that is vital. Vital, essential. So for 26 euros, 25.95, you can get this awesome material. It's got almost everything you need to know. I say almost because, well, what material has everything you need to know? But it has got the essential English you'll need for different situations. And today, we're going to go to a place where my friends with a sweet tooth will have a field day, donde se lo pasarán en grande. And I'm talking about the bakery or the pastry shop, if it's a nice formal one. A bakery is more in general, where they make bread. Because you say panaderia, pasteleria. Well, for us, both can be a bakery because they bake things, right? But a pastry shop, now to me, that sounds more like, tienen las, it sounds like the French ones. Los de Francia. Have you guys been there? They're beautiful. I mean, even if you don't, I don't have a sweet tooth. Yo no soy goloso. I love salty, not too salty, but savory things. Cuando queremos decir salado, sin decir salado que me he pasado, savory things. But just going into a French pastry shop, oh man, it's a treat to the eyes because of all the colors and how elaborate it is. So even as someone who doesn't enjoy eating that stuff, visually, it's spectacular. And a bakery can have everything. You can have bread in a bakery. You can have pastries. You can have, all the different stuff, donuts, bear claws. Eso es un tipo de, I use brazo de gitano. Well, we have garra de oso, but it's not. I don't think it's the same thing. But you catch my drift. You can get a wide range of things, but it sounds more upscale when we say a pastry shop. Even though really a pastry shop can make bread too, right? They can make masa madre. You know how to say that? Masa madre. How do we say that? In English, it makes sense. Sourdough. Masa agria, right? Do you notice when you eat that kind of bread es un toque más agrio. I love it. I love sourdough. And even before it got really popular, I love this stuff. All right, so we are going to the bakery today. As always, I want you guys to listen carefully. This excerpt is from Essential English, and afterwards I'll have some questions for you.
Pista 19.
At the bakery.
Panadero.
Baker.
Hogaza. Barra de pan.
Loaf of bread.
Barra de pan.
Baguette.
Empanada. Típica de Inglaterra.
Pasty.
Masa de hojaldre.
Pastry.
Galleta.
Biscuit. Cookie.
Magdalena.
Muffin.
Bollo.
Bun.
Hello, can I help you?
Hello there. Yes, can I have a cheese and onion pasty, please?
Yes, of course. Anything else?
The bread here looks delicious. Can I have one of those baguettes, please?
Yes, of course.
Oh, and these biscuits look nice. Can I have one box, please?
Yes, certainly. Is that everything?
Well, the muffins look delicious too. I'd like 2 chocolate muffins, please.
Okay, not a problem.
Oh, it's my sister's birthday tomorrow. I'd like that cake too, please.
Yes, certainly.
Fantastic. Oh, those buns look delicious too. Yes, I'd like 3 buns, please.
Okay, is that everything?
Yes, that's everything. Thank you.
That's £48, please.
Translation time.
1. La hogaza de pan tiene una pinta buenísima.
The loaf of bread looks delicious.
2. Las magdalenas tienen buena pinta.
The muffins look good.
3. Las galletas tienen buena pinta.
The biscuits look good.
4. La empanada tiene muy buena pinta.
The pasty looks delicious.
5. ¿Me pones esa galleta de chocolate, por favor?
Can I have that chocolate cookie, please?
6. Sí, claro. ¿Alguna cosa más?
Yes, certainly. Anything else?
7. ¿Me pone 3 de esos bollos?
Can I have 3 of those buns?
8. Sí, por supuesto. ¿Eso es todo?
Yes, of course. Is that everything?
9. Me encantan las empanadas de Cornualles.
I love Cornish pasties.
10. ¿Me pone una empanada de pollo y verduras, por favor?
Can I have a chicken and vegetable pasty, please? Practice time.
Transforma las frases al singular. 1.
These cakes look delicious. This cake looks delicious.
2.
Those muffins look nice. That muffin looks nice.
3.
Those loaves of bread look a bit old. That loaf of bread looks a bit old.
4.
These buns look very nice. This bun looks very nice.
5.
Those baguettes look delicious. That baguette looks delicious.
Ahora practica con
I'd like.
y.
Can I have?
6. 3 barras de pan.
I'd like 3 baguettes. Can I have 3 baguettes?
7. Una hogaza integral.
I'd like a loaf of brown bread. Can I have a loaf of brown bread?
8. 2 hogazas.
I'd like 2 loaves of bread. Can I have 2 loaves of bread?
9. Una empanada de queso y cebolla.
I'd like a cheese and onion pasty. Can I have a cheese and onion pasty?
10. 5 bollos.
I'd like 5 buns. Can I have 5 buns?
Aplica lo aprendido en otras situaciones. 1. Pareces cansado.
You look tired.
2. La película parece aburrida.
The film looks boring.
3. La exposición parece interesante.
The exhibition looks interesting.
4. ¿Me trae una servilleta?
Can I have a napkin?
5. ¿Nos trae una botella de agua, por favor?
Can we have a bottle of water, please?
All right, there we go. Now, if I'm not mistaken, napkin is American. They say serviette. Yeah, like you guys. Hey, easy. If you want the easy way out, say it the British way. I think for them, a napkin is de tela. For us, anything you can be a paper. Napkins are the ones that you would ask for in a restaurant. So you got to know this stuff, such as biscuit and cookie. That's another one we heard in that audio. In my country, we give biscuits to the dog when he does a good job, when he deserves a treat, right? Una sorpresita. We give the dog a biscuit. They're also these biscuits are also, in Kentucky Fried Chicken, those panecillos, they look a little bit like scones, but they're not exactly. They're savory, son salados. So, but for us, a cookie is anything that's round. Básicamente en mi país, si es redondo, it's a cookie. Okay, then, as I said, there are as many kinds of pastries and things as there are people. So if you go to a French one, you'll see that. You're like, what is this even called? You have to have like a master's degree in baking, which many people do. I think for me, as somebody who likes to cook when I have time, baking is the hardest thing to master. Is that just me, or is that because you give me a grill and I've got it under control? Give me a frying pan, una sartén, I can do it. Because I'm in control there. Even an air fryer, but for some reason, the oven, you go a little bit too much, and that cake, esa tarta, ese bizcocho it's the same word for us. A cake is tarta o bizcocho. So there's another little nuance, otro matiz. All right, let's see what I want from you guys. I want you to pedir 2 hogazas. Okay, 2 hogazas de pan. Now, I want 2 things in here, además de 2 hogazas, porque estamos buscando el plural aposta. I want you to be as polite as humanly possible. Yeah, okay, be polite. That's how we get things done in life, not being mean to people. So be polite. And you know what? Since the person behind the counter looks like they're pretty busy, I want you to add an cuando puedas, because cuando puedas is a good thing to know as well. Okay, so the first one, 2 hogazas, pide 2 hogazas de la forma más polite y ponme un cuando puedas al final. That's number 1. If you don't know it, don't worry. As I said, you'll know it by the end of this section. Now, the next one, I want to test if you know this vocabulary. Now, some people are on these diets where they don't eat carbs. You can say carbohydrates, but why? If you could just say carbs, right? You can say abdominal muscles, or you could just say abs. Well, in this case, if you want to work on those abs, maybe you should cut the carbs. So quiero que pidas, otra vez, polite. We're going to be polite here. Una hamburguesa sin el pan. Now, you can say, como se dice la hamburguesa, solo la carne, or you can say, ponme una hamburguesa y sin el pan. Pero no quiero que uses la palabra bread, porque no es la palabra que usaríamos. Okay? So there's a little clue there in that one. Again, let's work on, our polite questions, because that's what we're going to do when we're out there in the real world. We're going to put on our, our manners, right? And our manners are how we say, please, thank you, all of these things that you should do anyway, right? So, una hamburguesa sin el pan. Okay, how would we say that? And the third one, and here I want you to think of an ingredient you don't like. Y así es práctico para ti también. Y quiero que me pidas lo que te pongas. You can ask for whatever. You can order, mejor. Ask for es más pedir un préstamo. Order es en un restaurante, ¿no? So, I want you to say in this last one, no le pongas la mayonesa, por favor. O sin los pepinillos. Again, choose an ingredient that you're not a big fan of. Like for me, I know what it is. Alioli. Everybody loves to put that on everything. They put it on their cornflakes here in Spain, it seems. Can't stand it. Now, you could say, don't put that on, pero hay una forma muy, muy directa, más cortita, para decir, no le pongas o sin la cebolla. Again, think of a thing, a food that you're not a big fan of. I can think of many. Why? Because I'm picky. Yeah, I don't like to be that. I'm not proud. If you noticed, I didn't say that in a proud way. I'm a bit picky. I'm a bit fussy. No, estos son del contexto. Alguien, esto, pero quítame estos 3 ingredientes. And I do not want to be that way. And I'm working on it too. I'm working on trying new things because I can't tell my daughter that she's got to try something before she says she doesn't like it if I'm not doing it. As we say, I have to lead by example. All right, well, amigos, I can't believe it, but we are through. The first part of the show is done and dusted. But the good news, we'll be back in not even 2 minutes. The ad break is about 2 minutes or so. So if you want to get a cuppa es como decimos una taza de té, una taza de café. No, tómate algo. So a cuppa, eso es muy británico, ¿eh? C-U-P-P. Sería a cup of, pero nadie dice of. Entonces se ha convertido. Can I have a cup of coffee? En Estados Unidos también, ¿eh? Can I have 2 cups of? So a cuppa puede ser té o café. All right, we're going to learn much more about pastries and coffee. Is anybody getting hungry here? All right, we'll be right back with much more, so stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back. This is the second part of today's show with no name. So much to do here on the show. Oh, and guess what's back? Since now everybody's back here on Vaughn Radio, we are officially back. It seems like almost everybody is back from vacation time. Guess what section is back? You guessed it. It's our question of the week. This is where you guys get to participate in the show. You can leave a voice note. You can send it to my email address. It's apunta, write it down, aalonso@grupovaughn.com. aalonso@grupovaughn.com. And there you can find, my email address, not very much else, but sure, if you'd like to leave me a message or suggest something for the show, you can also use that email address. But I want you to use it because we're back, folks, with the question of the week. We didn't do it these last 2 weeks because I was just waiting for everybody to come back from their well-deserved vacay. Yeah, you say vacas, we say vacay. ¿Qué te crees? Los únicos listillos, vagos. No queremos decir vacaciones. We say vacas. Well, we say vacay. para que veas, no es vacation, vacation. Esa primera A es that hard A. Vacation or vacay. Se escribe V-A-C-A-Y. Y esa palabra no me acuerdo de haberla usado cuando yo era un chavalín. O sea, es uno que es más nuevo. All right, so participate in the question of the week, but first you'll need the question. The question is, where would you relocate if you were forced to leave the country? So let's say tomorrow there's a famine, hambruna, or, wildfires, a nuclear attack, one of these end of the world scenarios, and you got to get the fuck out of Dodge. Eso es una expresión que significa pirarte y rapidísimo. We got to get the fuck out of Dodge, que viene de Dodge del oeste, right? So get the es vulgar, pero eso significa levanta que nos vamos, pero hace 2 minutos. So where would you relocate? If you could live anywhere in the world and you had to leave, it's not, I love Spain, I'm staying here. Great. Or wherever you live, that's in the perfect situation. But I'm giving you an end of the world apocalyptic scenario just in that country. So I guess it's not end of the world. No, let's just say let's say you disagree with whatever. You're forced because of whatever situation. You can, fill in the blanks there. That part really isn't that important. But you're forced, obligado, to leave the country. Where would you relocate? Okay, y aquí vamos a practicar el condicional. I would, que se puede contraer, I'd relocate to tal. And of course, the most important part in our question of the week every week is why? Why would you go there? And remember, it doesn't, because sometimes people relocate. Well, I'm going to Boston because I got a job there. No. You can relocate anywhere. Okay. You've got the whole world at your disposal, except where you are now. Okay. So where would you relocate if you were forced to relocate? All right. Also, let me give you the Say What soundbite. Here it is for the second time.
Dear Moron, am having a swell time here at the insane asylum. It would be nice if you could come and visit me sometime. Wish you could read. Ren.
Hey, Damian, what's crack-a-lackin', buddy?
Hey, Alberto, I was planning to do some sports this week. What about playing baseball?
Ooh, baseball. I love it. But I'm not sure yet. Can we touch base next week?
Touch base. Estamos en contacto, ¿no? Hablamos en algún momento. Yeah, okay. Let's touch base. Okay, what about basketball? Do you want to play basketball?
Oh, man, I love basketball. It's one of my favorite sports. But I don't know if I can this weekend because I've already got plans. Oh, man, that's the way the ball bounces.
That's the way the ball bounces. Así están las cosas, ¿no? Así bota la pelota. Así bota la pelota. That's the way the ball bounces. I love that expression. Okay, what about tennis? Do you want to play tennis?
Well, I love tennis, but I'm not really a good player. If you don't mind playing with a novice, the ball's in your court, buddy.
La bola está en mi campo, ¿eh? La pelota está en mi tejado. All right. Do you want to play some soccer?
Sure, I'd love to play some soccer or football, as you call it. What time do we kick off?
Perfect. We're kicking off at 9. Are you available?
Sure, but I might have to play some golf before with some friends. It's par for the course.
It's par for the course. Es lo normal, ¿no? Es lo normalito, lo que se hace.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what about billiards? Do you like playing billiards?
Yeah, but right now I'm behind the 8 ball.
I'm behind the 8 ball. Estás detrás de la bola 8, como que llevas las de perder.
Yeah. Wow, a lot of idiomatic expressions here.
Muy buenas expresiones. Si es que así da gusto aprender inglés con un profe como Alberto y un poquito de creatividad, tienes This Book is the Shit. El mejor libro para aprender inglés que te has echado a la cara in your life. Píllatelo, vas a disfrutar mogollón de dibujos para que lo aprendas todo fácil, con conexiones lógicas y divertidas. Es la manera más sencilla y más divertida de aprender inglés. No te la pierdas.
Damian, you're such a good sport. Te enrollas. You can pick up your copy of This Book is the Shit at
Vaughantienda.com.
It's the shit.
That's right, VaughanTienda.com. You can pick up all the amazing materials we have. We've been working on materials for 40 plus years now, so we know our stuff. Sabemos de lo que hablamos. We know our shit is another way to say it, evidentemente, vulgar. Pero se dice mucho. Man, you really know your shit. Si no queremos ser vulgar, we can say you really know your stuff. You can say you really know what you're talking about, pero no te parece mucha sílaba. You know your stuff. Tú sabes tus cosas. Okay? Tus mierdas, if we use the vulgar version of that idiomatic expression. All right, but not vulgarity. That's not what we're looking at today. We're looking at being polite, at minding our manners. I don't know why I went into a British accent. Well, it's because that polite Britishness. I don't know. It's not true in the end. Well, it's like everywhere. You got polite people and you got impolite people. So it's not that it's not true. But they are, I have to say, we were in London last weekend and everybody was extremely polite. Honestly, I expect it, but sometimes, you get rude people at the airport, at the hotel, on the tube. That did not happen. Quite the contrary. So I know London, a big city. I was treated with respect, kindly, by everybody. And that was nice. I really enjoyed that. I was like, wow, I'm missing this sometimes. Well, it's not that people are always rude because it's not like a black and white. You're either rude or you're polite. But sometimes people are just busy. They're lost in their own world. And, they forget to say good morning and say hello. These little things, these little niceties, as we call them. These niceties, I think, that make the world go round. I know when somebody smiles and says hello to me, whether it's a neighbor, whether it's, the baker, hablando de pastelerías, brings a smile to my face. It even makes my day sometimes. So don't forget, don't underestimate, I should say, the power of a hello, of a simple gesture like a smile. You could really make someone's day who needed it. And I'm speaking from experience here, where I'm like, shitty day. I mean, hey, we all have days where we wake up on the wrong side of the bed. Una expresión que vimos hace poco, ¿no? Levantarnos con pie izquierdo. All right, let's see what our amigos have to say. I see we've got some friends joining us here in the chat room. Hello, 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 show with no namers. Welcome. Kicking things off, we've got Anix. Anix says, morning. Here we go again. Here we go again on our own. Going down the only road I've ever known. Hey, all right. Sorry, I can't help it. That's Aerosmith. Not Aerosmith. Yeah, right. Aerosmith. Whitesnake. Es que no cabe todo esto. Guys, too many things to fit in one head. I try. Here I go again on my own. What a great song. Here we go again, no doubt. She says, let's get ready to rumble. Have a nice day, everyone. Well, now that you're here, Anix, a nice day is guaranteed. And I can't wait to hear from you in our question of the week. Anix is somebody who has participated week after week since we started doing this section about a year ago. So, Anix, looking forward to hearing from you. If you could relocate to any city, you had to relocate to any city, you can say a country too. You just have to defend your answer. Which one would it be? Welcome back, Anix. Great to have you. We've got Born to Iron Man. He says, morning, fellows. What's up? Born to Iron Man. Always great to have your energy here in the group. Let's see what he had to say about today's pop quiz. He says, would you mind serving me 2 loaves of bread whenever you can, please? Great. It works. Would you mind? Más el gerundio. Muy bien, también. Ahí te he visto. Write this down. A lot of people make this mistake. They say, would you mind to serve? No. Would you mind? Más el gerundio. Would you mind serving? No lo confundamos con would you like to. Te gustaría. That's different. Ese sí que emplea to, el infinitivo. Would you like to open the window? ¿Te gustaría abrir la ventana? Would you mind opening the window? ¿Te importaría? So son dos estructuras diferentes que yo creo que la gente se lía a veces entre ellos. So, would you mind, not Born to Iron Man. Great job, buddy. Would you mind serving me 2 loaves? That's right, a loaf, una hogaza es one. Pero es como la palabra knife. Y muchas palabras que acaban con F, cuando se pluraliza, acaba en VES. Half, 1 half, 2 halves, right? 1 knife, 2 knives. I'm sure you can think of some other examples of that as well. Great. 2 loaves of bread. And whenever you can is fine. Or when you get a chance. You can say, la que es frase hecha, when you get a chance or the chance. Y si lo dices rápido suena igual. When you get a chance, yo diría when you get a chance. Pero hay gente que dice when you get the chance. Pero es otra vez, diciéndolo rápido apenas se percata. So this is how I would say it naturally. Okay? May I have 2 loaves of bread when you get a chance? May I have? Could I have? Very polite as well. Would you mind is fine, Born to Iron Man. But I was just giving you my natural way of saying it without thinking about it, right? I didn't want to think about it. I would say, morning. First, I would always do the morning. May I have? Could I have 2 loaves of bread when you get a chance? Or when you get the chance? It is really, really good to know that one. And I used to mix that one up in Spanish. I would say cuando puedes. It's cuando puedas. There's that subjunctive again. Coming back to haunt me. Cuando puedes is a question. ¿Cuándo puedes hacerlo? ¿La semana que viene? Pero cuando puedas is whenever you can, whenever you get a chance, when you get the chance. Again, there are a couple ways. When you get a chance, whenever you get a chance, any variation of that works. Okay, choose the one that works for you. The next one, could I have a burger without the bun, please? Absolutely. Could I have a burger without the bun, please? The bun, yeah, that's the panecillo de la hamburguesa. Y del hot dog también, a hot dog bun. So we don't call it the bread like you. El pan de la hamburguesa. No, we call it the bun. Now, another way to order that is, could I have a burger, just the patty? Okay, the patty is la carne, right? Or if it's a veggie burger, no tiene que ser carne. Es la estrella de la hamburguesa. Okay, the patty. The one that looks like a hockey puck. Lo que parece lo de hockey, ¿no? Como el disco ese. That is called a patty. And in fact, it reminds me, last night, in fact, we were watching, I don't know if you guys have seen these movies, but if you haven't, you should. It's a talented voiceover cast, and there are two movies. It's Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, and then there's a part 2. Búscatelo. Es que ayer, I'm telling you, I was explaining puns to my daughter every other minute in this movie. O sea, vimos la segunda. We've already seen the first one. Brilliant. It seems like a kid's movie, but it's really entertaining, both of them. So it's Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. Sería Cloudy with a Chance of Rain. Pero si sabes la premisa de esto, inventa algo que hace que comida caiga del cielo. It sounds ridiculous. The movie is, both of the movies, the original and the sequel, punny as hell. Okay, una tras otra. There's one part que echa la hamburguesa, echa el queso, right, like a spider web. And then the police officer comes in and goes, I'm going to cut the cheese. Y va y corta el queso que está en medio y se tira un pedo. I'm going to cut, o sea, mi hija, esa la pilló, eh? She was like, he cut the cheese and then he cut the cheese. And I said, yep. So that's pretty funny, to cut the cheese. Also, another one, there was one with buns, because they're like hamburgers that attack these cheeseburger spiders. I know it sounds ridiculous, but it's fun. It's really funny. And it's Andy Samberg. It's the cast. The voice talent is incredible. James Caan from The Godfather plays the dad. Okay, so it's Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. Mira si puedes pillar todo. Es que hay algunas que digo, imposible esa. Okay, and there was another one where he goes, he just kissed my buns. To kiss my buns es, dijo la hamburguesa, me ha dado un beso en el panecillo. También me ha dado un beso en el culete. So check those movies out and you'll see a lot of really punny words, expressions, and things like that. And see if you get them all. Plus, you'll be entertained. Let's see. The next one and last one. Could I have a burger without... Oh, we already looked at that one. Please don't add pickles. That's fine. But like the totally native way is hold the pickles. Okay? Sujétalos. De hecho, there's a famous, I don't know if it's a famous scene. There's a scene in SpongeBob, okay? And they tell him, they're having like a food fight. And SpongeBob tells Patrick, hold the pickles or hold the mayo. I don't remember what it was, mayonesa. Y lo está sujetando en el aire. You get the joke? Sujétalo, déjalo, no lo pongas. Hold the mayo. So these are things you guys will need, whether you're ordering at a bakery or any place, right? The when you get a chance, hold the tal, el would you mind. So wonderful job, amigos. Excellent. All right, well, we've got to move on because, as always, we've got so much to do. So let's get into today's news report.
This is the news report on the show with no name, bringing you the latest breaking news. I'm Alberto Alonso, reporting live.
Yeah, you're going to want to crack a beer for this one. Yeah. Well, let's take a look at this one. I call it Baby Bottoms Up. Do you get it? All right, baby bottoms, culetes de bebés. Baby bottoms up, hacia arriba. But also bottoms up significa chin chin, ¿no? A beber. La parte superior, arriba. What happens when you drink, right? Bottoms up. So I mixed the two things. Baby bottoms up. Culete de bebé o bebé chin chin. All right, well, a baby was born in the parking lot of a microbrewery. Okay, un cervecero, una artesanal, you would say. A micro. Nosotros decimos elaboración micro, right? So the baby was born in a microbrewery parking lot. Now, what's the difference between a parking lot, a parking garage, and a parking spot? Is it clear? The lot is an open space, right? The garage is obviously a garage. Unless you're British, it's garage. And then you've got a parking spot, que es un sitio. But in no cases do we call it, I'm going to put the car in a parking. Hay que poner luego, eso es el adjetivo, vamos a decir. Entonces ahí ya tienes que rematar. It's a common mistake. That's why I'm bringing it up. So yeah, a baby was born in the parking lot of his parents' favorite microbrewery in Michigan. And this is crazy, okay? It turned into a special brew, okay? A special brew es una elaboración especial to honor the newborn. That's right. Now, I know what you're thinking. These people, the wife is pregnant. What are they doing at a brewery? I'll get to it. They weren't hanging out at the brewery that day. In fact, they were on their way to the hospital. The wife was going into labor, as we say. So she was moments away from delivering the baby. I mean, the seconds counted. And so they were on their way to the Methodist hospital nearby. And they realized they weren't going to make it. Que no iban a llegar a tiempo. There was no way on earth that they were going to make it in time. So then they called an ambulance and they pulled over. Okay, to pull over, as we've looked at this one, echarse a un lado de la carretera, no, salir de la carretera, desviarte, right? So they pulled over into the parking lot of what is called One Well Brewing. It's a good name. Well es bueno, pero también well es pozo. So One Well Brewing, which happens to be their favorite micro brewery. Well, the baby was born mere moments later in this parking lot. Again, the parents weren't there drinking. It was on the way. How convenient, right? Qué cómodo. I'm sure the father took that shortcut on purpose. Well, if we can't get to the hospital, we'll go to the brewery and we'll figure it out. Now, the baby, this is crazy. The baby is named Forrest Wells Baker. Did you catch that? What's the name of the brewery? One Well Brewing. The baby was named after the brewery. So it's only natural that the brewery would make a special brew in honor of this baby. And they were joking at first. You know, they were saying, well, let's grab a quick beer. And in fact, as I said, a lot of people criticized it. What were you doing at a brewery when you're about to give birth? And they said, no, this wasn't a day where we were hanging out at this brewery. It just happened to be on the way. As I said, is that a coincidence, or was dad, thinking, all right, I'm going to need a couple beers after this? And so the brewing company, One Well Brewing, celebrated the baby's arrival, and they created a special brew, a blood orange blonde ale. Okay, so they used blood oranges and a blonde ale, and they invited the parents, the new parents, to come help mix it up, no? Hacer la mezcla at the brewery. And they named the beer, I love it, so the beer was named after the kid and the kid was named after the brewery. Well, it didn't take the kid's name, but it was in honor of the kid. Special delivery, entrega especial. Do you get the double meaning? Because a delivery también es dar luz, right? She's in the delivery room. She just delivered the baby. I thought it was a brilliant name. So they named the beer Special Delivery. So I think it's a win-win there, right? The kid's name is in honor of the brewery, the parking lot of the brewery where he was born. And now he's got his own special brew. And the owner of One Well Brewery, it's not the easiest name to say, Chris O'Neill, was joking that it'll be another 21 years before baby Forrest can enjoy a pint of his own beer. But they're considering giving him free beer for life. Hello? What? Man, I wish I had been born in the parking lot of a brewery. Yeah. Now, obviously, as they said, he has to wait. In my country, 21 years. In Spain, 18. But the kid will have free beer for life. And you know what? It went so well, this publicity stunt that really wasn't planned. So it went so well that the owner, again, and I think jokingly, we don't know, but he said, the One Well promise, la promesa One Well, have a baby in the parking lot and the baby gets free beer for life. Now, this is my only fear. This place is going to be flooded, inundado, with beer buffs who are about to give birth. Well, as I said, the name of the brewery is One Well Brewery. And if your wife is expecting, well, you know where to go now, amigos. All right, that's our news report. We are heading to a quick commercial break right now. Talking about beers and babies and bottoms up. In the next part of the show, we're going to kick things off with our homophones. After that, we're going to listen to our Say What soundbite for the third time. Plus, we've got so much more up ahead. So, stick around. Hey, amigos. Welcome to the second half of today's show. I hope you guys are having fun. I hope you're learning. And I hope you'll stay tuned to listen to Gretchen right after this program. So many amazing programs here on Vaughn Radio, all of them designed to teach you English, but all of them are designed to teach you English with the personality, what's the word I'm looking for? The spark, la chispa, that makes the teacher special. I mean, that's one of the first things they said when we were learning how to do the Vaughn method. They're like, the Vaughn method doesn't work without your personality. So that's a really important thing, the dynamism of the student and of the teacher. And every teacher's got their own experience to draw from. But one thing I can tell you about all Vaughn teachers is they are dynamic individuals. There's no doubt about it. All right, what are we going to look at in this part? As I said, homophones. We got the Say What soundbite. We've got real reviews. We've got our spelling bee and so much more up ahead. And as I said, Gretchen has an amazing program lined up for you. Lined up es preparado. Es una forma más nativa de decir preparado. So join her. All right, let's kick things off in the second half of the show with our homophones on the show with no name.
Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name.
That's right, my amigos. It is time for your homophones section here on the show. Let's see what we've got for you today. The first word, I'm sure you're familiar with it. In fact, a lot of you think it's Jack Sparrow's real name, Johnny. Pues eso, profundo. No es profundidad because that's the depth, right? Or in depth. So careful with that. Yeah, one of them is profundo, que es la que busco, and the other one is in depth or depth if we're looking for the noun. Okay? So profundo también puede ser grave, hondo, right? En lo profundo. That's the idea. Okay? Hablando de la piscina, hablando de una persona también, que es muy profundo. All right? And the second word is a bit richer. Okay, the second word is un poco más profundo, and we've got it as cuesta pendiente. So si hablamos que hay un bajo, baja la tierra, we're looking at a map, hay un, o en la carretera, right, una cuesta o pendiente. Caída, puede ser una caída o bajada en el mercado. We talk about it. So same idea, right? Una cuesta, una pendiente, una caída. It's also a salsa. Puede ser un tipo de salsa donde metes algo, donde mojas algo, que también es el verbo mojar. Okay? Coger, like what you do with nachos and guacamole. That. Okay? Mojar algo. And also it's bajar. We already said that one. Meter. Oh, también it's un chapuzón. Right? Me voy a dar un chapuzón. So, wow. Pretty rich word there, that second word. The first word I know you know. It's profundo. As I said, it's often Johnny, D-E-P-P, se escribe en los medios aquí, D-E-E-P. Entonces, claro, it's no wonder you call him Johnny. Okay? And the second one, as I said, cuesta, pendiente, caída, salsa, mojar en la salsa. And there you go. Those are your homophones. Do you know the words and do they sound exactly the same or not? Also, let me give you today's Say What soundbite. Nobody had anything to say about this one. I stumped you guys with this one, huh? Nos está costando el Say What soundbite today. All right, well, as I say, the harder it is here, the easier it's going to be when you're out there and your ear is trained to understand all kinds of accents. Here it is for the third time.
Dear Moron, am having a swell time here at the insane asylum. It would be nice if you could come and visit me sometime. Wish you could read. Ren.
¿Te gustaría abrir puertas a nuevas oportunidades y estar listo para cualquier desafío? Con el máster de inglés del Grupo Vaughan podrás transformar tu futuro. Este programa intensivo te ayudará a dominar el inglés profesional, perfeccionar tu comunicación y ganar la confianza que necesitas para conseguir tus objetivos. Nuestros profesores Vaughan especializados te prepararán para afrontar en inglés todas las situaciones de comunicación en un entorno profesional. No dejes que el inglés sea una barrera. Invierte en tu futuro con el máster de inglés profesional del Grupo Vaughan. Llámanos al 91-133-5833 o entra en grupobaugan.com.
That's right. Well, that's only if you want to master English. If you don't want to master English, then don't worry about our master's program. Guys, it is a thorough, concienzudo, completo. It is a thorough program. And if you come out of it, you'll probably know English. I don't mean the comfort of speaking, but you'll know English inside and out more than most native speakers. So if you ever say, oh, es esta palabra, well, you'll know, es esta estructura o la otra. You'll know before a native speaker does. And as I say, native speakers make native mistakes, right? How many people I know, you should have came. Nope, you should have come. You should have went. Nope, you should have gone. Pero las veces que lo he oído, así. I seen him yesterday. Eso es muy del sur, sureño. I seen him. No, I saw him. I've seen him a lot lately. I seen him. They say, I seen him. I swear I seen him. So again, you're not going to follow all native speakers to get that correct English. But if you learn the master's program, you'll learn the right English. And you'll just have to you'll have to resist the temptation to correct native speakers when you hear them say, ¿qué? If I was you, said, yeah, if I were you. Right? So, all right, let's take a look over here and see what we've got. If anybody's participating in our homophone section, we've got Born to Iron Man. He's on fire today, and he says the two words correctly, and he says nay. He says they do not sound the same. All right, well, let's, voy a decir mételo profundamente. Oh, God, that did not sound good. Well, all right. Well, I already said it. So here it goes. Dip it deep. Dip deep. O sea, meter, mojar, dip deep. La primera palabra, deep. Lo he dicho fuera de orden para la frase. So profundo, dilo tú, deep. I think that's the easy one because that's the one you say, Johnny Deep. So deep. Vamos a rimar unas palabras. Sleep. Weep. ¿Sabéis weep? Still my guitar gently weeps. Llorar, gemir. To weep, right? Creep. That guy's a creep. He gives me the creeps when I sleep. Okay? Eep. I think it's an easy sound. The next one, dip. Ip. It's eh. You gotta master that sound. You don't know how important that sound is in English. And especially for Spanish speakers who usually say, I'm going to take a dip in the pool, right? I'm going to take a dip in the pool. ¿Ves? No es tan pronunciado. In inglés, our consonant sounds, our vowel sounds seem a bit softer, right? So think of it that way. That's a good way to think of, the way the languages sound in general, for generalizing. Voy a ir a la pista. It's a lot more pronounced. In English, going to take a dip in the pool. Going to take a dip in the there's not too much ba boom boom ba boom boom ba ba. It's more like right. If you have to look at it like a musical genre, right? So let's rhyme some things with dip because that's the one that concerns me. Okay, dip rhymes with lip, labio. It also rhymes with sip, sorbet. It also rhymes with flip, right? It also rhymes with tip, propina. So excellent job. Born to Iron Man. Your classmates are leaving you hanging today. Te están dejando tirados. But hey, you're doing a great job. One man, one desire to win all the sections on the show with no name. Who will stop him? Nobody. All right, let's see. User user 2. I'll call you because it's easier. User 2 says, thank you for your daily masterclass, a live, unparalleled, and invaluable resource to take your English to the next level. Worth every second. That's a magical comment right there. Remember how I just said sometimes it's really easy to make someone's day? Congratulations. You just made my day, user 2. Thank you. See this smile? That's your fault. I really appreciate that comment. And thank you. Thank you so much for taking the time to give me that feedback. And again, that's my fuel. Lo digo siempre, es mi fuel. So thank you, user 2. All right, I'll tell you what, though, we have got to move on because it's time for real reviews.
First of all, what went through my mind is how stupid am I to actually volunteer for this?
Real reviews.
Real reviews found online.
Real reviews.
It was unbelievably painful.
That's right. It is painful. These reviews are painful, but they're real, folks. They're real reviews that I get off the internet, and we look at different things. We've looked at gas stations, estaciones de gasolina. How do you call them? I don't even remember. De petróleo. Bueno, donde repostas. Repostar. That's another one that confuses me. Donde repostas el coche. Right? A gas station. We already said the British call it a petrol station. Well, today I figured since we were talking about bakeries and pastries and cookies and loaves of bread and all that stuff, well, I figured we could take a look at some reviews that have to do with bakeries. So this is one bakery that I found. It's in the United States. It is in the south of the United States. So, all right. I've got 2 reviews here. Let's go through them, and then we can take a look at the real English that we learned. I ordered a couple of donuts with pastry cream. Okay, now donuts, remember, a lot of people spell them the way you do, D-O-N-U-T-S, pero técnicamente es dough, D-O-U-G-H, como masa, donuts. Míralo. Okay, now it's become accepted thanks to Dunkin' Donuts or Donet, these for spelling it that way. But the original spelling is donut, tuerca de masa, donut. Okay, so I ordered a couple of donuts with pastry cream, right? A lot of times in the States, they're very popular, the cream-filled or jelly-filled donuts, because I wanted to surprise my son. Quería hacerle una sorpresa a mi hijo. So obviously she ordered them to go. No, eso es bueno saberlo. To go, please. To go es para llevar. But when we got home, we were disappointed, decepcionados, by the total lack of quality of the product. Now, lack is carencia de? The total lack, ausencia, right, of quality of the product. The donuts were totally dry. Yeah, there's nothing like dry donuts. You want them to be moist, húmedos, right? So they almost disappear in your mouth. So they were totally dry, as well as the cream. As you can see in the photo, and the person posted a photo as proof, it was inedible, disgusting, incomestible, inedible. Edible, no sé decirlo en español, comestible, and inedible, no comestible. Disgusting. No tiene que ver con disgusto ahí, es asqueroso. Disgusting. It seemed like it was at least a week old. So they were trying to pass off old donuts. Man, gross. I don't know how you can sell a product like that. Y quiero que todos pronunciéis esta palabra porque en inglés no es product, it's product. Product. Say it with me. De hecho, vamos a decir esta palabra, siempre lo digo porque muchos dicen ambas palabras mal. Dicen product manager, ¿no? Product manager. He's a product manager, okay? So how can you sell a product like that? There certainly won't be a second time. O sea, no volveré ahí nunca. I hope the management will make more effort to take care of the quality, because it makes no sense to sell garbage like that with such high prices. Ridiculous. There you go. Now, they got a little bit offensive there at the end, garbage and stuff. But I think it was a constructive criticism because they're saying, hello, management, take note. Because in that case, you're almost doing them a favor. Like, is this what you're serving? Well, you better change that or you will be going into Chapter 11, bancarrota. Here's another one, same bakery. It was Three Kings Day. ¿Cómo se nota que es el sur de Estados Unidos? Because we never celebrated that in the north. But remember, if Texas, New Orleans, like down in certain parts of Louisiana, they celebrate that, thanks to the Spanish, by the way. So it was Three Kings Day, and we bought a rosca. Yes, it's called a rosca at this bakery. And it was very hard. Hard duro. I think that's easy. Very dry. Second review with that comment. Guess what? I'm going to start taking their word for it now, right? Because if one person says it's dry and everybody else says it's delicious, well, they had a bad day. But this is the second, and I looked through a few comments. I didn't look through too many. I didn't have to in this bakery. So I have a feeling they'll be shutting down sooner than later. Very dry and very flavorless. Soso. You can say flavorless or mucho más corto, bland. Pero ojo, bland no es blando. It looks like a false friend there, right? Blando is soft, bland es soso. So you can also say tasteless. Pero eso también es sin gusto, no tienes gustos ningunos, no gustos culturales, these kind of things as well. So it was very flavorless. We have been using this bakery for over 10 years, and I have never been this disappointed. There's that word again, decepcionados. It's worse than angry because you expected more, right? So I've never been this disappointed in those 10 years as a loyal client. Okay, como cliente leal. I am very furious, and I want a full refund, un reembolso total. I will be speaking to the owner/manager. Do not waste your money. And I mean, do not waste your money on this nasty, flavorless bakery. She says, or he, they, if I was able to give this bakery less stars, it would be 0. Yeah, that's another thing. On Google, for example, you can't give 0 stars. You got to give at least 1. But I've seen many comments where like, it doesn't even deserve a 1. And did you notice the native mistake? We were talking about native mistakes before. Less stars or fewer? Yeah, es que americanos usamos less para todo. There were less people there. No, se pueden contar, fewer. Pero lo he oído, mira, hasta en guiones, it's crazy. So, just so you know, fewer con contables, less with incontables. Se pueden contar las estrellas, ¿no? Okay. So that is, though, a totally native mistake. Folks, I hope you enjoyed real reviews. It's time to move on to today's Spelling Bee.
Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee.
All right. Are you ready, Born to Iron Man? Well, I would say everyone, but really, there are people here. But as I said, Born to Iron Man, they're leaving you hanging. They're leaving you high and dry. Todo vale para enseñar expresiones. They're leaving you high and dry. They're leaving you hanging. Te dejan un poco tirado hoy. But you know what? As I said before, you can handle it with or without the help of your classmates. All right, folks, here we go. This is today's Spelling Bee. Get ready, because round 1, man, I'm going at Usain Bolt speed. Let's capitalize the first letter of each word. The first one is EVERY space BREAKING space WAVE. The second one is VOLCANO. The third one is RAISED space BY space WOLVES. The fourth one is CEDARWOOD space ROAD. The fifth one is TROUBLES. And the last one is THE space MIRACLE. There you go, my amigos. Those are your 6 words. I know I went fast. That's the whole idea in round 1. Don't you worry, though. In round 2, I'm going to slow down considerably. But let's see. Born to Iron Man, I know you're about to hit send. So I'm going to give you a couple seconds over here. And then, as always, we'll see how these words are linked. There's a common thread between these words. I should say among, porque hay más que dos. There's a common thread among these words. And it has to do with something, some kind of historical event, acontecimiento, that happened. All right, let's see. The first one is correct. Born to Iron Man. The second one is also correct. The third one's correct. The fourth one, and oh my God, the fifth one. And the sixth. Sorry. Todas. What, dude? Seriously. Honestly, we got to try it one day where you dictate them to me that fast. And again, I don't know if I'll be up to scratch. To be up to scratch es si voy a dar la talla. I don't know if I'll measure up. Otra forma de decir dar la talla. Unbelievable. Excellent job. Hats off. Now it's time for round 2. The first one is EVERY space BREAKING space WAVE. The second one is VOLCANO. The third one is RAISED space BY space WOLVES. The next one, CEDAR WOOD space ROAD. The fifth one is TROUBLES. And the sixth and final word in today's spelling bee is THE space MIRACLE. All right, those are your words. And as I said, Born to Iron Man, unbelievable. What an unbelievable job you've done. Again, it's not only that you got them down fast, las apuntaste rápidamente, but the accuracy is la precisión. The accuracy is out of this world. So excellent job. All right. Well, folks, we're going to take, I can't believe it, our final commercial break right now. The good news, we've got so much more to do on today's show. That's right. When we come back, we have a triple trouble. Only it's a reverse triple trouble. What? Yeah. Son 3 palabras que son iguales en español y me tenéis que decir cómo se dice cada uno en inglés, que son diferentes. Yeah, we're flipping the script in today's triple trouble. Today I'm going to give you the other way around. I usually give it to you in Spanish. No, te lo voy a dar en español, pero claro, eso es. En español, las 3 palabras son iguales. En inglés, no. So we're not looking for the 3 same words in English today. I think I just confused you even more. Well, don't worry. I'll explain it when we come back from this quick commercial break. But we've got that. We'll check the spelling bee answers. We've got our Say What soundbite, movies, music, and so much more. So stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the fourth and final part of today's show with no name. Don't forget to listen to all the amazing programs daily here on Vaughn Radio. You can start your day with the Pro Bow Show with my buddy Rob Grams. I couldn't think of a better way to start your day. I'm a poet, and I didn't even know it. Then we've got Fitz talking about friends. My buddy Fitz is up next with No Excuses. You've got Richard Vaughn live. You've got Gretchen up next, our latest signing. Yeah, you say fichaje, we say firma. Our latest signing, Gretchen. Then you've got a double dose of Rob Grams because he comes back on the air with Andy in the lunchtime show for a bit of banter with my buddies. You've also got Kyle Miller, Ruby, Chris Frank, Dave Boys, Jessica Fernandez. And folks, I think that's everyone. Did I leave anyone out? Well, the main way to make sure you never miss an episode is to download our free app. And if you're going on a trip, even if you have a 10-hour flight to Dubai, well, download the episodes, the podcasts. This way you don't need an internet connection. Once they're on your phone, you need space in your phone, eso sí. Ahí ya no te puedo ayudar. Update your iCloud, right? Oh, geez. Yeah, sell me something else. That's what I need. All right, amigos, let's kick things off with today's reverse triple trouble.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble.
All right, amigos, here we go. Now, this is a triple trouble in Spanish. Again, in English, you're going to use 3 different words. So it's not your run-of-the-mill double trouble or triple trouble. No es el de siempre, el ordinario. This one, as I said, we're flipping the script. All right, los gemelos con los grandes gemelos llevan gemelos. There you go. Los gemelos, que se parecen, con los grandes gemelos, piernas, llevan gemelos, ¿no? En la manga. Okay, just to clear up which is which, just in case. So, los gemelos, gente que se parece, o no, hay otras, tenemos otra forma. You say mellizos, we say that one differently. We'll take a look at that one in a minute, just to distinguish, but you can use whatever version of that. The idea is to use the word gemelos. Los gemelos, con los grandes gemelos, piernas, ¿no? La parte de la pierna de abajo, are where, te lo estoy dando en inglés, llevan, all right, at least I gave you the verb there at the end, llevan gemelos. And gemelos, again, the ones you wear when you want to dress up, te quieres poner más formalito. All right, there you go. I'll leave that for you while we listen to our Say What soundbite for the 4th and final time. And it seems like it's given you guys some trouble today. Well, don't worry. We'll take a look at what's being said and where it's from at the end of the show. Here we go.
Dear Moron, am having a swell time here at the insane asylum. It would be nice if you could come and visit me sometime. Wish you could read. Ren.
Listen carefully. Can you hear that? No. Listen closer. I'm not talking about the birds chirping. I'm talking about everybody speaking English and feeling comfortable. Listen. This is what it's like at Vaughan Town, a peaceful place where you can really learn English and lose your inhibitions. There's a reason it's one of our star programs. Vaughan Town, lose your fear of speaking English. If you want more information about this immersive experience, go to grupovaughn.com or give us a call, 911-385831. Lose your fear of speaking English and express yourself with clarity at Vaughan Town. That's right, folks. If you want more information about one of our star initiatives, it is Vaughan Town, and you can find out all the information you need over at grupovaughn.com. Also, just make sure you're following us, and you'll know what we need you to know when we need you to know it. This way you can take advantage of all the special offers we have throughout the year. All right, let's go over here to our chat room. I gave you the triple trouble. As I said, in Spanish, they're the same word. In English, they are not. Born to Iron Man said, the twins with the big twins wear twins. No. It doesn't work like that. Maybe I didn't explain it well. So again, I think I confused you guys more than I tried to keep it simple, and I think I confused you more. I mixed you up. Otra forma de decirlo. So no, the word is not repeated 3 times in English. What makes it a triple trouble is in Spanish. So they don't have to be the same words in English because they're not. Okay? But I like it. The twins with the big twins wear twins. Bueno, si usas Google Translate, te va a salir así. All right. I'll tell you what, though. I know somebody's going to get it. So why don't we take a look at our spelling bee words in the meantime? And this way I'll give you some more time to try and figure out today's triple trouble. Reverse triple trouble. Los gemelos, que se parecen, con los grandes gemelos en las piernas, llevan gemelos en la manga. ¿Ok? No hay que poner en la manga, en las piernas. Es para especificar qué versión de gemelos me refiero. ¿Ok? So these songs that I gave you, yeah, as I just said, are songs. Yeah, these songs I gave you are songs. Oh, really? Wow, that's pretty deep, Alberto. Well, they're songs off an album called Songs of Innocence. Now, this is an album that you had if you had an iPhone. Okay, do you know which one it is yet? It's an album that made me hate a certain group even more. Oh, U2? ¿Tú también? ¿U2? All right, I can't stand them. No los soporto. I can't take U2. And every time Bono opens his mouth, whether it's to sing or to talk, it's just like, shut up, sit down, old man, please. You're not relevant anymore. Or maybe he is. But most people I talk to are like, oh, man, they haven't had a good album since the Joshua Tree. Yeah, I'm not talking about U2 in the 80s, but you can't live off your, 1980s. That's pretty sad. You're one of the greatest groups, but you can't have a decent album in decades. I'm not talking about, okay, maybe not a decent album, but a decent song. And I remember this song because every time I didn't want it to come on, which is I never wanted it to come on, it would come on. So I remember I would hang up a phone call or I would send a message and you gotta run, you gotta run. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And it was U2, Songs of Innocence. Well, guilty of putting them on everyone's phone without asking us. And basically in 2014, the album Songs of Innocence by U2 was digitally released for free. Now, this upset some musicians. Well, think about it. You give away your music. Now people are not going to want to pay me for mine. I get that from a professional standpoint. And so they gave it away. It came with the iTunes Music Store. So if you had an Apple phone, you automatically had this album. And again, every time it came on,
And it wasn't because I did anything, or I don't think I did, because it just seemed like it was haunting me, persiguiéndome. I was like, get this thing off my phone. And it seems I wasn't alone. There was a lot of backlash. Okay, they got what they wanted. Oh, the most seen album, they broke some records and things. Oh, in one day, the shortest amount of people to download. Yeah, we didn't have a choice. Does that count? Forcing people to listen to your music? Oh, wow. Okay, well, how's that going? And there was a lot of respuesta negativa, revuelo, backlash, la palabra que usé, not just from artists, but from people like me who said, who wanted this? Who asked for this? Nobody wants this. So, you could say it was successful because of numbers, but it did not put this band in a positive light at all. And the name of the album was Songs of Innocence. And some of the songs, the ones that I chose for the spelling bee, Every Breaking Wave. Temazo, right? No idea. Never heard it. Well, maybe I heard it 20 times, but by accident. So Every Breaking Wave. The second one was Volcano, que en inglés no es volcano, es volcano. The third one was Raised by Wolves. Estábamos mirando antes palabras con F cuando se pluralizan, V-E-S. Ahí tienes otro ejemplo. Criado por lobos. Raised by Wolves. The fourth one was Cedarwood Road. The fifth one was Troubles. And the sixth one was The Miracle. The full name is The Miracle of Joey Ramone. And again, okay, maybe if you say With or Without You, or Where the Streets Have No Name, but we're going back to 1980. Don't you have to make albums in the current decade, or at least the current millennium? I think their last decent, again, it's from someone who's never really been a big fan. I like those early songs, Rattle and Hum, The Joshua Tree. But then when they got like pop, and I don't know what they tried to do. They tried to just become bigger than they were. I don't know. Hey, sorry if you like U2. But again, I know this is not just my opinion. It's shared by many people I know. All right, today's Triple Trouble. Nobody got it. Surprising, because I know we've looked at this before. All right, the twins son gemelos. If you want to specify que no se parecen, fraternal. So the fraternal twins, and you can say the identical twins. Si dices twins a secas, pues yo voy a decir que dices identical. Right? Pero puede especificar, cambiando la palabra delante de twins. Lo que no cambia es twins. So the twins with the big calves, mira, otra palabra con F, antes no se me ocurrían más, pues ahí tienes otra. The twins with the big calves, because calf is one. Calves son los gemelos de la pierna. Are wearing cufflinks. Eso es, cufflinks son los gemelos que llevas en la camisa. So the twins with the big calves are wearing cufflinks. Our reverse triple trouble. Folks, it's time to go to the movies. Name that movie. All right, here we go. By the way, I love this movie. I love this movie. It's I wouldn't watch it with the kids, but it's with my daughter. Well, it is also an R-rated movie. So R es para adultos. And all right, here goes. We'll see if you're familiar with it. As always, I'm going to give you a little synopsis and then a little excerpt. Two down on their luck guys decide to fake their own deaths and start over with new identities. But they discover that the people they are pretending to be are in deeper trouble. Mira la palabra deep otra vez ahí. If we say you're otro uso de deep, you are in deep trouble, man. Okay, grave. Ese es el uso de grave. So, two down on their luck guys. If you're down on your luck, es una forma muy nativa de decir, se te ha acabado la suerte. Estás jodido. right? Two down on their luck guys decide to fake, falsificar, their own deaths and start over, empezar de nuevo, with new identities. But they discover that the people they're pretending to be, descubren que la gente a quien fingen ser, because we don't pretend, no es pretender, es to fingir, the people they're pretending to be are in even deeper trouble. So they were trying to escape their own problems and realized they got into deeper trouble. All right. The movie is called The Do-Over, and that's a good one to know as well. Okay, can we do it over? Let's have a do-over. Repetir, ¿no? Hacerlo de nuevo. And the movie stars Adam Sandler. Of course, I've seen it. I've seen every Adam Sandler movie. It also stars David Spade, and I love it. It's really funny. It's one of these movies that you'll be cracking up the whole time. But of course, you got to watch it in English. All right, let's take a look at the scene that I've chosen from this movie called The Do-Over. So Max is watching these dancers grind. Grind, arrimar cebolla, you say, right? To grind, restregarse, to grind is what moler. So think about if you're grinding on someone, estás como restregándote. So he's watching the dancers grind. And he goes, man, these two assholes deserve each other. Says, tío, estos dos cabrones se merecen entre ellos. Se merecen, right? These two assholes deserve each other. And then Charlie says, they actually got divorced. Bueno, pues realmente se divorciaron. He goes, they're still really good friends, though. Pero siguen siendo buenos amigos, aunque siguen siendo buenos amigos. And Max says, oh, I see that. No es evidente, right? Ya veo. And Charlie says they had twins together. Ya sabemos esa palabra. They had twins together, but she got remarried. Okay, es otra forma de se casó de nuevo. And then Max says, wow. Imagine if her husband was here right now. Sería were here, pero no suena, no rechina porque decimos was. Wow. Imagine if her husband was here right now, watching that alcoholic hose bag fucking dry humping her ex. Okay, vamos por parte. So, ver esta tía alcohólica, hose bag, es como decir, hose bag is a way of saying somebody who's just like not very civilized. And he says, fucking dry hump. Now, the hump is tener sexo. To dry hump, pues con la ropa puesta. You know, o sea, similar to grinding. ¿No? Cuando ves gente bailando and you're like, guys, get a room. And then Charlie says, he is here, actually. Realmente sí que está aquí el marido nuevo. And he holds up his ring finger. Y levanta su dedo con el anillo. And Max says, oh, hey, congratulations. Ay, madre mía, pues enhorabuena. All right, there you go, my amigos. Those are your name that movie section, Double Trouble. Well, I think it's time to move on to a section where we look at famous people. It's called Famous Birthdays.
Birthdays for you. Famous birthdays for me. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Famous birthdays for him. Famous birthdays for her. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's Famous Birthdays only on the show with no name. Let's see who's celebrating a birthday today. Our first birthday boy was in the movie The Do-Over. He was in Mr. Deeds. He was in 50 First Dates. He was in Happy Gilmore and as also a producer. So the guy's not just an actor. He's a producer, and he's making a lot of money. With Netflix, I know he makes a lot of movies these days with Netflix. And a lot of times people look at him as like a goofball, no un tontorrón, but also he does serious roles really well as well. And as you can see, if the guy's doing so well for himself, he's not as stupid as the character he plays, you know? which is great. He plays with that too. He's that goofy guy who was on Saturday Night Live. Oh, I love this guy. I just said his name because we just looked at one of his movies, The Do-Over. Number 2, this guy sitting on the dock of the bay. Do I have to say any more? Okay, I think you've got that one. And last but not least, this guy was born in 1955, a Canadian voice actor, animator, director, and screenwriter. He is the creator of a show that I grew up with called The Ren and Stimpy Show. We were talking about cats and dogs before. The Ren and Stimpy Show. And I remember watching that show religiously. Ren was a big fat cat, and Stimpy was this little chihuahua who talked like this. Now, again, I don't know if you would recognize that because I don't know how they were voiced in Spanish. Maybe they did a Mexican. I don't know because I've never seen it in Spanish. Thankfully, I've only seen this show in English. So it's one of those shows that showed us that we can have cartoons for adults too. Because now you got Simpsons, Family Guy, SpongeBob even, is on the border there. Well, this one is one you do not want to watch with kids, right? In fact, most of the words they say, "You idiot." That was one of his lines. "You moron, you idiot." That's Stimpy, who was the Chihuahua, voiced by our birthday boy. All right, today's birthday boys and girls. Number 1, Adam Sandler. Number 2, Otis Redding. And number 3, John Kricfalusi. Yeah, if you can say his name, that's good enough. John Kricfalusi. And this is going to bring us over to today's Say What soundbite. This is John Kricfalusi with his character that he created and voiced, Stimpy. No, Ren. Yeah, Stimpy, perdona. I mixed them up. So this is Stimpy writing a letter to Ren, okay, the cat. And he says, "Dear moron, querido idiota, I'm having a swell time." Swell is nice. "I'm having a swell time here at the insane asylum, en el manicomio. It would be nice if you could come and visit me sometime. Sería genial si me visitases en algún momento. I wish you could read, ojalá pudieras leer, Ren." So here we go, folks. From Ren and Stimpy, here is Stimpy writing to Ren.
Dear Moron, am having a swell time here at the insane asylum. It would be nice if you could come and visit me sometime. Wish you could read, Ren.
Hi, hello, Alberto. I think the song is... No? Sorry, bye.
Name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. It's name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. It's name that lyric only on the show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's Name That Lyric, and give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you to everybody who tunes in, whether you're with us live, whether you listen later on via the app, or whether you tune into the podcast. I thank you for laughing and learning with me every day. It's an honor and a pleasure, and I say that with all sincerity. So thank you for making my day every day. I hope you learned, and I hope you laughed, and I hope you're ready to sing with me in today's Name That Lyric. Now, today we're taking a look at Otis Redding, the birthday boy. And no, it's not sitting on the dock of the bay. It's hard to handle. Difícil de soportar. Baby, here I am. I'm a man on the scene. I can give you what you want, but you gotta come home with me. I've got some good old loving. Tengo ese buen amor. And I got some more in store. Hemos visto en store, por venir. When I get through throwing on you, you gotta come back for more. Boys and things will come by the dozen. Boys and things will come by the dozen. Hey, like in a bakery. That ain't nothing but drugstore loving. It ain't nothing but drugstore loving. Hey, little thing, let me light your candle, 'cause mama, I'm sure hard to handle now. It's all right. Yeah, that's a hard one to know. Well, I hope you guys liked the song, and I hope you'll sing along with me. It's birthday boy Otis Redding and Hard to Handle. Wow. Thanks, everybody. Ciao for now. Baby, here I am. I'm a man on the scene. I can give you what you want.